Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all. So the message today is pretty fucking intense and deep. So I'm calling it Trauma Comes to Light. I don't even know where to start. We start with the Strength card, looking over at the moon reversed. And I feel like this is telling you to have the courage to look into the shadows, having the courage to look at what has had you feeling crazy maybe throughout your life. And this could be deep childhood traumas, or deep relationship traumas, or even deep societal traumas. Like wherever it is that you find yourself in the shadows, have the courage to look there and to be gentle with yourself. Even if what you find is a bog monster or whatever that came out in a different reading today, even if what you find is a scary, animal or whatever, it's you. And so having the strength and the courage to be gentle with yourself and to look into the shadows, and also to look into the shadows of others in your life that maybe have been enabled to be toxic in your life and even traumatizing. So we're going to move on. The only card that had come out upright was the 10 of Swords, which, this is a done card. Tens indicate the completion of a cycle. And with that swords energy, I always say, how many times does a person have to stab you in the back before you recognize they've only got knives for you? There's other things I usually say. I feel like there's bigger things about this. This is about putting an end to cycles. And I know it's like cliche, but it's true to say that we are here to end generational curses. We're here to break fucking cycles, and this is about major fucking cycles breaking. So let's fucking break them. So this was on top of these cards here. We've got the Justice card upright, but the Star is reversed and the 9 of Swords is reversed. And so it's like we have, again, this feels familial, but it could be, again, societal, generational, whatever, where, now we need that courage to look inside because, again, I just get this sense of enabling. This is a card of trauma, and this is a card of truth. And it's like we bury our trauma and pretend that our truth doesn't matter. And so we don't shine our light because we're here to keep the peace. It reminds me of a card in another deck where a man is balancing 2 swords to keep the peace, but really he's just stabbing his own hand, keeping his own truth to himself because he doesn't want to upset whoever, is the toxic party, the abusive party, or whatever it is. I do get a strong sense of abuse coming from this. So if you're going through this, but you know how I feel about major arcanas, these two are major arcanas. These two are major arcanas, and we've got one more. So this is major destiny point. And since this is a collective reading, like, this is not easy, but if several of us are working through this energy, then let's fucking support each other, and let's support ourselves, and let's work through it. And so we're not going to bury our traumas, and we're not going to bury our truth. We're going to speak our truth, and we're going to illuminate, and we're going to advocate not only for ourselves, but for others who have been traumatized. We are going to find true justice. Then we've got the devil, or not the devil. I don't know why I said that. That's interesting. Well, in light of what came out, we're done with this toxic fucking energy. So actually we've got the Death card, which is about transformation. I love that this is the deck that wanted to come out, and it's severing ties. We are cutting cords from the past. We are cutting cords from enabling. We are cutting cords from entitled people thinking it's okay to treat others a certain way just because they are really good at making excuses and shifting blame and never being held accountable. We're done with this. We're done. And then, it's interesting that all of these other cards were on one side of the Death card, where he's just severing, especially these being reversed. But then on the other side, he's severing, or she is severing from this 5 of Wands. And this is, people fighting amongst themselves. It makes me think of family, but again, This can be familial, this can be generational, this can be societal, whatever. We're saying no more. We're saying no more. And so it feels like with cutting ties like that, say it was a family situation or societal or whatever, it feels like there's a competition in place where truth isn't upheld. Everybody's trying to beat each other's story. And again, I don't know why. It just feels like there's no accountability. Normally this is a card of competition and whatever. And so in light of these other cards, it feels very much like, again, I don't know. I get this shifting blame kind of a thing, just the way it looks. It's like everybody's trying to talk over each other and everybody's trying to blame each other. Nobody's taking accountability for themselves. And so, you know, I like the idea of each of us owning our truth and taking accountability. You know, we are sovereign, and the way we shift into the consciousness of sovereignty is by accepting ourselves completely, accepting our fuck ups and taking accountability and being responsible for what we choose to do, and then holding others accountable in their sovereignty to accept their fuck ups and take responsibility for what they've done. And so none of this fighting and talking over each other shit. We're done. We're done with that. And then we end with the Four of Pentacles, where he is protecting his chest. He's protecting his chest. He's guarding his worth. And you know, and if he has to stand alone in his truth, in his sovereignty, at least he's protecting his heart. He's not going to allow gaslighting, bullshit, enabling toxic patterns to continue. And so again, I keep wanting to come back to these other cards. We are not allowing those toxic patterns. We're not burying our traumas. We're going to speak our truth. We're going to bring light to it. And with that moon card especially, it's like all of this stuff has been in the shadows. It's stuff we don't talk about. Why the fuck not? To protect the fucking oppressor, to protect the fucking abuser? No. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to stand up and we're going to speak our truth, and we are going to find balance within ourselves by speaking that truth, and we're going to bring the truth to light. And so just know you are brave enough for this. And if people in your life, if you're not going through this, maybe, you know, see that others are embracing this intense energy, but finding their strength to face it and to bring these truths to light. So bringing trauma to light, like I said, it's intense, but we do have the courage, we do have the strength, we do have the power to do this. And once we shed light on this truth, it can't be unseen. And there's no going back. And so now we can choose progress. We can choose to embrace truth. That was easy for me to say. Embrace forward movement and healing. And we've got to move forward from here. We've got to find the new pathway that leads to that illumination. All right, an intense reading, but I hope this was found useful by somebody. If you would like a personal reading from me, I do palm tarot and astrology. I'm not afraid to try a palm reading online. I've had a few people hit me up. So if you would like a reading from me, you can hit me up on the link below, Calendly, or send me an email at Fairlight@airyfairytarot.com. All right, that's all I have for today. Peace and love until next time.